beautiful time when I was walking around the hills of Tiruvannamala. And a lot of people were accompanying me. We were all walking around and we were studying a lot of things. And I used to carry a very cute little book with me. And it said spiritual stories. All right? Spiritual stories chosen by Ramana Maharshi and told by Ramana Maharshi. So I had this very quirky feeling in my head. Okay, everybody says Ramana Maharshi still lives in Tiruvannamalai, right? So I said, let me see whether this seer is walking with me. All right, let me test it out. If he is there, he should really make his presence felt. So what I started doing was every now and then at each Shivalinga, I used to randomly open this book and open a new story. And what do you think happened? Any guesses? What do you think happened? Random stories I used to open at each Shivalinga because there's so many Shivalingas around Tiruvannamalai. You know, surprise of surprise, the stories would be in complete sync with the linga. So here is a little story for you. So my friends are walking with me, and we went to one linga called Kubera Linga. Right? Have you heard the word Kubera before? Ah, the minute you think of Kubera, what do you think of? Money, kasu, pano, duddu, money. But that's not what Kubera is all about. Kubera is much more than that. He is somebody who gives loans. He is an investment consultant. He takes back a lot of returns. What is that? You have to pay back in interest, all right? That is what Kubera is. So when my friend reached Kubera, after having done all the lingas, he said, wow, we have reached my linga. Why did he say that? Because everybody wants money. I like the laughter there. Everybody wants money. And that is exactly what he said. And I was like, oh my God, after all this, you're still saying this. Okay, let's see what the seer says. And I opened a random story. And this is what the story says. There were two lovely saints. One guy is called Appar, and another guy is called Sundar. And both of them were Shiva Bhaktas. They are among the 63 saints, who have sung the praise of Lord Shiva. They just had to call for Shiva and Shiva would make an appearance. So they saw a famine-ridden area. They saw that there's no water in the place and there is absolute starvation. So they decide to take up that place, build an ashram there, and do their prayers. And they wish to feed all the people there day in and day out. So every day they worship, they get a gold coin in the morning. So Appar asks all his disciples to go exchange the gold coin for some provisions, come back and cook for the people. But every time there is some blemish or something wrong with that gold coin. So it takes time. Instead of feeding at 12, they feed only by around 3 or 4. This is what happens. All right? But in Sundar's tent, it is blemishless gold. Right? There is absolutely no blemish in the gold. It just gets exchanged like this, and they are able to buy all the provisions and bring back and make lunch for everybody. But gets to know about this. What do you think Appar will feel? I'm jealous of that. Appar is a saint. You see, he did not feel jealous. He questioned himself. He said, what am I doing wrong? Why is it that the gold that I am getting has some problem in that? This is what was the thought process in that. So he approached Shiva again. He said, Shiva, how can you do this? How can you give me some gold coins that have some problem in it? So Shiva said, Appar, in your tent, everybody is talking about feeding the poor in their mind and with their words, but not really acting it out. But in Sundar's tent, Manasa, Vacha, Karma. So they are also thinking about it, they're also talking about it, and they're also working on it. And so you see, the thing is blemishless. Lovely, good lesson. And what do you think happened to my friend? He's a grown-up man, almost 40, and he wept. You know what he said? He said, I had made 5 plans, and for the past 5 years, I've only been talking about it. I've only been thinking about it, but I did not put it into action. I did not create a prototype. No wonder. This is the biggest lesson I learned. I'm going to go and work on it and then ensure that it actually happens. Now, till then, I was actually carrying this little book, and the book was helping me. All right. The next truth happened. I carried the same book, hoping that new stories will unfold. And all of a sudden, before we reached Kuberalinga, my friend who was traveling with me said, Jayshree, may I carry that book for you, please? You are working so much for us. I would like to do this little work for you. I said, sure. And I handed over the book to her. By the time we reached the next linga and I turned around for the book, there was no book. It had disappeared. My friend was upset. She said, was I not capable of carrying even this book? That is how she. But something else struck me. We went back. She said, I want to go back this book and find out. I'll drop it somewhere. I'll pick it up and bring it back for you. I gave her a good 20 minutes time to do that. She went back. She didn't find it. Neither did she realize that she had dropped it. She couldn't believe that she had it. From that day onwards, I decided that when I travel to temples, along with the story of the seers, there is now going to be the story of the seeker. That is the people who are traveling. So I stopped carrying this book, but again, I got it as a gift from somebody and it has come back. Maybe because young children are sitting here and they should listen to these stories. I brought them back to me. But now I only listen to my own stories. I listen to what's happening to my friends. I listen to the kind of questions that everybody is asking, the kind of observations that everybody is making, and that is turning the entire temple experience into something real. Don't you think that's what we should do? All right. So now, before I go to the next story, I have another activity for you. There are some clues at the back of this page, and there's a little crossword puzzle. I'm going to give you just a few seconds, to look at the clues. Try and answer them. Even if you answer one or two is okay. And as you go by, you might answer a few more. And even as you're looking at those questions, I'm going to ask you a few more questions, which will perhaps be clues. And it will clue you into those temples. Even if you're not able to fill up the box, it's okay. But if you know the answer, write it right next to the question. You can always fill out the boxes later. I'll just give you a few more seconds. Fastest finger first. Got at least one answer? Very good, very good. You're not going to let out the answers, okay? You're going to keep it to yourself. I can see more smiles. If it's not bad, I seem to know one or two of the answers.